Hello, very loving good afternoon to all of you. Today we want to discuss time value of money, the unit 4 of financial management. First of all, we have to discuss what how the money changes by the passage of time. As we know that value of money depends on time. The value of a given amount of money at one point of time is not the same as the value of the same face amount at another time. Means you can say the value of 1 rupees today is more valuable than value of 1 rupees of tomorrow. How could it be possible? Because if I'll give you 100 rupees today, and if I'll give you 100 rupees after 1 year, what do you think? Both are same? The value is same? No. Why? Because the value, because 100 rupees which I am giving you right now, you have 1 years at hand. So what do? You will invest this money, you will deposit this money into bank for 1 year. And suppose the bank will pay you 10% interest, then after 1 year, this 100 rupees becomes 110. But after 1 year, you have only 100 rupees. You don't have time to invest because we are comparing the value of 1 rupees, 100 rupees today and values of 100 rupees after 1 year. So value of 100 rupees today become 110, whereas values of 100 rupees after 1 year remains 100 rupees only. So the value of 1 rupees today is more valuable than value of 1 rupees after 1 year, that is in future. Is that clear? So the value depends on the point of time it occurs as payment or receipt. It is an expression. Is it? It is an expression of the fact that if the rate of interest is positive, then what happened? Money in hand now is more worth than money to be received at a date in future. So if the rate of interest is positive, then today's 1 rupees is more valuable than the value after 1 year or so in future. It refers to the value received or derived from the use of money over time as a result of investment and reinvestment. So it is the concept that an amount in today is more worth than the same amount that will be received in some future year. It refers to the difference in the value of cash received and now versus it values if received sometimes in future. Is it clear to all of you? It means what? The value today is more valuable than value after 1 year. Now, what do you think? That it is the principle, you can say, that money received in the present is worth more than the same amount received in future. So the concept used as the basis for discounting cash flow calculation, that cash received earlier is worth more than a similar amount received later, because the sum received earlier can be invested to earn interest in the intervening period, which I have already told you. That 100 rupees if I'll give you today, you have 1 year's time to invest. So that 100 rupees become 110 rupees if the bank will pay you 10 rupees, 10% interest. So this is the concept. Is that clear? So now I would like to say that time value of money, you know well that there is now concept of single sum problem. So what happened? Many business and investment decisions involves a single amount of money that either exists or will in the future. Single sum problem can generally be classified into two categories. Number one, computing the unknown future value of a known single value of money that is invested now for a certain number of periods at a certain interest rate. Number two, computing the unknown present value of a known single sum of money in the future that is discounting for a certain number of periods at a certain interest rate. Means what? You have to compute the future value once, and number two, you have to compute the present value. It means if someone is giving you 100 rupees today, you have to compute the future value after 1 year. Suppose time period is specified 1 year and rate of interest is also given, that is suppose 10%. So 100 rupees which you are investing today at the rate of 10% for 1 year, the future value will be 110 rupees. Now, this is first category. Second category is what? You know the future value, that is 110. And anyone asking you to calculate the present value. If here is what? You have to go back. Go back means discounting. When anyone asking you to calculate the future value, then what is that? That is compounding. That is 100 rupees become more. That is 110 rupees. But when you are asked by someone that calculate the present value, if the future value is known, then this is called discounting. It means the present value will be lesser than the future value. It means if 110 is the future value after 1 year, then the present value certainly be lesser. And lesser means it is discounting. So you have to calculate 110 rupees, the future value. So you have to calculate the present value of 110. Is that clear? Okay. So suppose, now you have to calculate first. I will show you. There are some notation, that is PMT. PMT means the cash payment. PV, P stands for present and V stands for value. FV, F stands for future and V stands for value. T stands for time. I stands for interest rate. Now you have to calculate this. There are 5 basic time value of money keys. That is N. N means number of periods. I means interest rate per period. PV means present value amount. PMT means payment, and FV means future value amount. These are the 5 basic keys in time value of money. Okay? Now, here you have to have the idea of 3 terms, that is interest, principal, and rate of interest. Now, you have to have the idea between the difference between the two terms, that is simple interest and compound interest. What is simple interest and what is compound interest? Interest paid on the principal amount. In simple interest, the interest is paid on the principal amount only. That is how you calculate, how you compute. That is I is simple interest, is equal to the values today, that is PV0, 0 means 0 year right now, multiplied by I and multiplied by N. I means capital I is simple interest and small I is rate of interest, and N means number of years. So how you calculate now future value after N number of years? N means maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, and so on and so forth. So how you calculate future value? Future value is equal to present value, values today, plus present value multiplied by I, that is interest rate per year, multiplied by N, that is number of years. That is for how many years you want to calculate the values. Now, come to simple interest. Suppose there is one example given. That is, you agree to invest 1,000 rupees in anywhere that promises to pay you 6% simple interest each year for 2 years. So how much money will you have at the end of second year? Means today if I'm giving you $1,000 at the rate of 6% interest. So after 2 years, how much your will be? So how you calculate? As just now I have told you, FV0. Yeah. So FBN, N means number of years. So future value after how many years you want to calculate? After 2 years. That is FV2 is equal to present value 0. That is present value is how much? How much you are investing? You are investing 100 rupees. Multiplied by what else? That is 1,000 rupees. That is present value 0. Multiplied by I, rate of interest 6%, that is 0.06, multiplied by N, and means 2 years. And when you calculate this, the amount will be 1,120 rupees. Is that clear? Okay. So this is 1,000 plus 1,000 multiplied by 0.06 multiplied by 2, that is 1,120. This is, here it is mistakenly written 1,000 multiplied, not 1 multiplied, but 1,000 plus 1,000. Here is, you see, present value plus present value multiplied by I multiplied by N. So it is 1,000 plus 1,000 multiplied by I multiplied by N, which is equal to 1,120. This is the simple, this way you calculate simple interest. Now come to compound interest. How you calculate compound interest? That is, compound interest you calculate, that is, interest will be paid on the principal and on the prior interest that has been paid or withdrawn. That is, interest you will get on principal and on the prior interest that has not been paid or withdrawn. How you calculate future value? Here future value N, that is number of years, is equal to present value, that is now, multiplied by 1 plus I to the power N. In simple interest, what happened? Present value plus, within bracket, present value 0 multiplied by I multiplied by n. Here future value is what? Future value is present value multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n. Because you are getting interest on interest in compound interest. Now you see, there is one example given. Suppose the same example, you have to calculate compound interest. Whereas in the first, you have the same example, you have calculated simple interest. Here you are calculating compound interest. So compound interest is how much here? Future value n is equal to 2 because number of years is 2. Multiply is equal to what? Present value 0, that is 1000. Multiplied by 1 plus I is equal to 6%, that is 0.06 to the power t, that is 2, is equal to, when you calculate this, the amount will be 1123.60 paise. It means what? Which is better for the investor? Whether the investor is beneficial when he will get simple interest or compound interest. If anyone will ask you that which will be better for the investor, to get the interest, simple interest or compound interest. In simple interest, you are receiving interest on principal. In compound interest, you are receiving interest on principal as well as on interest also. So that this is the reason why when you calculate future value based on simple interest, your future value will be 1120. Whereas when you calculate the future value keeping into consideration the compound interest, the amount will be 1123.60. It means your amount here 1120 and here 1123.60. It means compound interest is more beneficial for the investor because here the future value will be more, 3 rupees 60 paisa more as compared to the simple interest, that is 1120, here 1123.60. Is that clear? Now, how you calculate compound interest? So, how you calculate the rate of interest, you can say. So, interest rate, if anyone asks you to calculate, that interest rate is equal to what? Future value divided by present value within bracket 1 by n minus 1. Solving the number of compound period, n is equal to what? ln within bracket future value over present value, ln 1 plus I. And in this way you calculate the compound interest. Now come to present value. How you calculate present value? Present value, as I already told you, the present value will be lesser and future value will be more. So here you have to go for discounting. So how you calculate present value? Present value is equal to what? Present value means you have to calculate the value right now. It means a 0 year. And you know the value after 2 years or 1 year or whatever. That is future value. So present value is equal to what? Present value 0 is equal to future value n number of years, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, divided by 1 plus I to the power n. I is equal to rate of interest, n is equal to number of years. Now here you see, here one example. If the banker offers to pay you, if suppose the banker in which you have invested your money, the banker will offer to pay you 255 rupees 20 paisa in 5 years. If you deposit suppose X rupees today at an annual rate of interest 5%. So what is the present value of 255 rupees 20 paisa? It means you will get 255 rupees 20 paisa after 5 years. Then how much amount you have invested 5 years back, that you have to calculate. So very easy. How you calculate? You see one example. Present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus I to the power n. Future value is how much? 255 rupees 20 paisa over 1 plus I is equal to 5%, 0.05, and n is equal to number of years is equal to 5. So when you calculate this, the amount will be 200. Now you see, present value is 200, future value after 5 years is 255 rupees 20 paisa. It means what you have learned, that is value of today is more valuable than value of 1 rupees after 1 year or 2 years in future. So if your father is giving you 200 rupees today, and if the father is giving you 200 rupees after 5 years, which one is more valuable? Certainly the father will give you 200 rupees today. Why? Because you have time, 5 years time to invest your money into bank at the rate of 5 years. Then how much you will get? You will get 255 rupees 20 paisa. Whereas after 5 years, if father will give you, that is only 200. It means today's 200 is more valuable as compared to 200 in future. Is that clear? Now the thing is, what is the difference between ordinary annuity and an annuity due? First thing is what? You have to have an idea, that is, what is annuity? Annuity is the terms when the investors will get same amount, equal amount for a specified number of years and at the constant rate of interest. It means when the rate of interest is known, when the number of years is specified, and when the amount which you know, which you are receiving for suppose 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 years. If this type of example is there, then this is the example of annuity. Another one term is perpetuity. In perpetuity, what happened? In perpetuity, number of years is not known, not specified. Rate of interest is constant, no problem. Equal amount you are getting, no problem. But number of years is not specified. So when this type of example is given, you can say this example is the example of perpetuity. Now, we have discussed before that in security there are two types of long-term security, that is debt security and owner security. In debt security and in debt security, what is that? There is bond, there is debentures, there is long-term bank loans. And in owner security, there is preference share capital and equity share capital. Preference share capital you can say as preferred stock, and equity share capital you can say as common stock. Now you see here, when the bank is, when you are investing your, suppose 100 rupees into bank, then bank will ask you for how many years you want to invest. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It means number of years is specified. Here is 2 years. Here you have what you have seen in the previous example, rate of interest. Rate of interest is constant 5%. So rate is known, years is known, so amount is also known. So this is the example of annuity. It means bond is an example of annuity, because here is what? After 2 years, bank will not give you any interest. Bank will ask you, okay, your interest will finish because you have invested your 200 rupees for 2 years only. So after 2 years, I will give you 255 rupees, 20 paisa or whatever. After 2 years, no. So this is, here time period is specified, fixed. But in perpetuity, what's the example of in perpetuity? The example is preferred stock. Because in preferred stock, what happened? Time period is not specified. And constant rate of dividend is constant, 10%. Because in preferred stock, the preferred stockholders will get the dividend at fixed rate. But in equity shareholders, the rate of dividend is not fixed. So equity shareholders, equity share capital is not the example of perpetuity. But in both the cases, time period is not specified. Even after my death, if my daughters will keep the shares, preference share of any ABC company, even after my death, my daughters or sons will get the dividend. After the death of my children, the children of my children will get the dividend. It means till the shares has been kept, you will get the dividend. It means time period is infinite, not specified. So this is the example of perpetuity. Is that clear? Now, the question is the difference between ordinary annuity and annuity due. So now we will discuss the difference. Here is first of all, we will discuss the future value of an ordinary annuity, because we want to discuss the difference between ordinary annuity, and annuity due. So first of all, we want to discuss the future value of an ordinary annuity. Future value of an ordinary annuity is what? That is, you will deposit the money at the end of each year. You will deposit the money in your savings account at the end of each year. This is called ordinary annuity. Is that clear? Ordinary annuity is when the amount will be deposited into bank at the end of every year. This is ordinary annuity. And what is annuity due? Annuity due, the amount will be deposited in the savings account at the beginning of every year. Is that clear? Ordinary annuity at the end of each year, annuity due at the beginning of each year. Clear? Sure? I will ask you the question in the next class. So be careful. If you do not understand, then tell me so that I will discuss again and again. But if not, then it will be difficult. You cannot understand. Now, how you calculate future value of ordinary annuity? Now you have to calculate future value of an ordinary annuity. An ordinary annuity is what? When the amount will be deposited at the end of every year. So how you calculate the future value? Future value is payment multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 over I. This is the formula through which you can calculate the future value of an ordinary annuity. So payment is how much? Suppose payment is 1000 rupees. I is how much? I is suppose 6%. So 1000 multiplied by 1 plus I is equal to 0.6 to the power, suppose 3 years, minus 1 over I is equal to 0.06. So if you are depositing 1000 rupees today, and if the condition is the ordinary annuity, it means you are depositing 1000 rupee at the end of every year, then at the end of third year, how much money you will get? You will get 3184 rupees, which you calculate and you will get the amount. Now, this is the future value. Is that clear? Now, we want to discuss the annuity due. Annuity due is what? Annuity due is when the amount will be deposited at the beginning of every year. So how you calculate future value? Future value is present value multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 over I. This will be multiplied by 1 plus I. This is the difference. This is a difference between the formula of annuity, ordinary annuity and annuity due. In ordinary annuity, 1 plus I is not. You do not need to multiply 1 plus I. But in annuity due, you have to multiply by 1 plus I. This is the difference. Is that clear? Now, how you calculate this amount? Annuity due. Suppose here you are receiving 3 years annuity due of 1000 rupees per year and deposited the money in the savings account, because this is example of annuity due. So obviously you are depositing at the beginning of each year. And if the account earns interest at the rate of 6%, which you have already seen in ordinary annuity also, annually, so how much will you receive, account will be worth at the end of third year? So as per the formula, you know the future value is equal to payment, PMT, multiplied by 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 over I. Due is there, so 1 plus I you have to multiply. When you calculate this, the amount will be 3375 rupees. And here is 3184. So, which one is better for the investor? Ordinary annuity or annuity due? Obviously, annuity due. Because in annuity due, your future value will be higher, more. That is how much? You are getting 3375 rupees, whereas in ordinary annuity, your amount will be 3184 rupees. So, तुम समझ में आ रही बात? Is that clear to all of you? So, ordinary annuity you are getting lesser amount, as well as in annuity due you are getting more amount, that is 3375 rupees. Now, this is your future value. Now, we will calculate the present value of ordinary annuity and present value of annuity due. So, present value, how you calculate? Present value is payment multiplied by 1 minus 1 by 1 plus I to the power over I. So, how you calculate? Suppose the same question. Suppose you are receiving 4-year ordinary annuity of 1000 per year and deposited the money in a savings account at the end of each year, because end of each year means ordinary due, ordinary annuity. The amount earns 6% interest compounded annually. How much is this annuity worth you today? So, how you calculate? Payment is how much? 1000 rupees. 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus I is 0.06 to the power 5 over 0.06. So how much it will be? The amount will be 4,212 rupees. So present value is 4,212 rupees. If you deposit, how much you will get? You will get 1,000 per year. Is that clear? You will receive 1,000 rupees per year for 4 years. When you deposit today 4,212 रुपीज़. अगर आप 4,212 रुपया आज बैंक में जमा करोगे तो 6% इंटरेस्ट रेट पर 4 साल के बाद तुमको कितना मिलेगा? तुमको 1,000 रुपया हर साल मिलेगा. Is that clear? This is your ordinary annuity. Clear है? Now come to annuity due. Annuity due is how you calculate. Payment is equal to present value is equal to payment multiplied by 1 minus, only thing is what? You have to multiply by 1 plus I. Simple. Payment multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the power n over I multiplied by 1 plus I. The same example, 4 years, you are receiving 1,000 rupees per year in a savings account. At the beginning of, you are receiving at the beginning of every year. And rate of interest is 6%. So how much you deposit today so that you will get 1,000 rupees every year for 4 years? Though you are receiving at the beginning of every year. So how you calculate? Payment is equal to, present value is equal to payment 1,000 rupees you are getting multiplied by 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus 0.06 to the power 5 over 0.06 and multiplied by 1 plus 0.06, and the amount will be 4,465. It means based on annuity due, if you deposit 4,465 rupees today, then you will get 1,000 rupees every year for 4 years annuity due. Is that clear? So in this way we have discussed the present value and future value of an annuity. Any problem? No problem? Because now we will discuss the perpetuity. So if annuity is okay, then we will discuss perpetuity in the next class. Clear? Fine. If you have any problem, you just give me a note in the chat box so that in the next class we will solve your problem. And I don't think there will be any problem raised. If yes, then no problem. I will discuss your problem in the next class. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.